guys, welcome back to Vlogmas! We are nearing the end of the year, which means a lot of year-end videos are going to be coming. One of them being my top 10 books of 2025. I've only read, I think I'm reading 21 this year because I have 3 more books I still need to read when I'm filming this video. Alright, let's get started because I feel like I talk a lot when I talk about books. So, here are 8 of them and then I have 2 on my Kindle. First one we're going to start off with is a 4-star book. So all of these are either 4 stars or 5. So I'm going to start with 4. Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I have a whole reading vlog of me reading this book. Every book I read in that reading vlog oh, that's false. 2 of the books that I read in that reading vlog are in this video. Beartown, hence the name of the book, is a small town but they are obsessed with ice hockey and their junior ice hockey team are making it to the semifinals and they have like a really good chance of winning until a violent act, I'm not going to say what, happened and traumatized a young girl. This book is really good. It definitely has a trigger warning, so just mentioning that. My thoughts on the book was, first, I love the writing style of it. It only takes place, I think, in like one weekend. Maybe it's like 1 week. And each chapter is like a different point of view of that same day. So I really like how that's written because you can kind of see the day starts over in each chapter and it's each different character that this violent act affects. And it's a very interesting writing style and read, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this book. I think I might read another one of his. I have to see. I think I have to be in the mood for one of his books because they are heavy. Like, this is a heavy book, but I highly recommend a good read that I kind of put it in like just like my fiction category because there's so much going on in the book that I just kind of kept it there, if that makes sense. So good read, good start to the top 10 of these books. The next one is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Levin. I rated this a 4 stars. Sam and Sadie were best friends for like a short period of time back when they were younger. Sam is a junior at Harvard and he runs into Sadie at a subway station. It's basically about their story together and they end up partnering up as creative partners in the video game world, and it kind of goes through that. It's a lot about video games, which I didn't know if I was gonna like at first, but honestly I didn't really care because it was kind of interesting to read about. I talked about this book in my 2025 bookshelf book video in the beginning of Vlogmas. And I did mention that I didn't really like this book, and I'm gonna say I put this in my top 10 because first off, a lot of the other books that I read this year just didn't feel worthy enough to go to my top 10. But this book is good because it makes you so angry at the characters. Like, I could not stand any of the characters in this book, and I think that's why it kind of threw me off. Usually I like that, but in this book, every time they had a chance to have a good relationship, something happened, and it was just like getting me angry. So that is why I put this as my top 10 because I feel like other people would really enjoy this book. So 4 stars from me. Definitely read it. You have to read it at least once, but this is not going to be a reread for me. The same thing for Beartown. This is not going to be a reread for me, which I think is why I rate things 4 stars, is if I'm not going to reread them, I'm not going to rate them 5. The next book is One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. This cover is amazing. This is the Barnes & Noble special edition and it's just like, it's beautiful. I just did not want to wreck it. I rated this book a 4 stars. This girl named Alice went to Barry's Bay when she was 17 once. She went for 1 summer. Her grandmother has a bad back or a bad hip and Alice goes over there to take care of her, but then realizes I think what would make her feel better is to go back to Barry's Bay. So they go back to Barry's Bay. When she was 17, the 1 summer she went, she took a picture, and it was this picture, the one on the cover, of 3 teenagers riding a yellow boat. Well, when she gets to Barry's Bay, present time, Charlie Florrick shows up. Charlie Florrick is seen on the yellow boat in the bay. Guess who he is? One of them in this picture. So it goes through their interactions throughout that summer. Good book. Really good book. I loved Carly Fortune's first book. This book is in the same universe as Every Summer After, and that was like one of my favorite summer books ever. I really enjoyed this one. I still think I liked Every Summer After more. I do want to reread that maybe this summer coming up, but I really enjoyed this book, and I would highly recommend this to anyone I know that just loves a cute little romance book. So really good. The next one that I read was on my Kindle, and it's The Return of Ellie Black by Amiko Jean. 20 years ago, Detective Chelsea, can't pronounce the last name, Chelsea's sister goes missing. Well, then 18 years after that, another girl goes missing named Ellie Black. 2 years after that, present time, Ellie Black appears, is found, but won't say anything of where she was, what happened to her, nothing. So Chelsea's like, I'm gonna figure this out, and it goes through that story. I rated this a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. I remember like when I was planning for this video, it had an interesting missing person trope, and I feel like I've read missing person books, well, only a few, but this one like had me hooked and like had me wanting to read more. And all I remember is that the ending was really good, and that's all I can say. With mystery books, you really can't say much because you don't want to give anything away, but it was twisty, it was a page turner, and I rated it a 4-star. So, but the thing is, I wouldn't reread that. I feel like with mystery books, sometimes you just can't reread it because you know what happens. So, but that one I would highly recommend. I would highly recommend most of these books. The next one is my most current read, and now we're getting into the 5 stars. So those are the 4 stars. Now we're getting into the 5. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Oh my god, I could talk about this book for hours. I love this book. I'm going to recommend this book to everyone I know. This book is about a girl named Nora Seed. She wants to die, so she commits. This book, I would say, is a trigger warning, but it gave me, okay, let me tell you what it's about and then I'll explain. So she wants to die, and she wakes up and she ends up in something called the Midnight Library. Basically, this is a library of an infinite amount of books. It's all different lives that she could have had if she changed one little thing. So she gets a book of regrets. Those are all the regrets that she's had in her life. She's had a lot. I mean, don't we all? But each story in the Midnight Library is the outcome of one of those regrets. So if she took a different road home, she would end up somewhere else. It's kind of like the string theory, and it's funny because she literally works at a shop called the String Theory, so it's just like funny. It was such a good book. It makes you think about your own life and like how your regrets could be like, if you regret doing something, it could have been something good, but it also could have been something bad. Whatever has happened in your life, you are meant to be exactly where you are right now. And that's what I got from this book. I really enjoyed it. If anyone has read it, like, please message me on Instagram and TikTok because I need to talk to someone that's read this book. It was so good. 5 stars. I would recommend everyone to read this book, especially because I don't like self-help books. I don't like nonfiction books. This one was like kind of a self-help book, but in a fiction story. I really enjoyed this book. 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5. I had to take a quick intermission, so let me know if it looks, well, you can't let me know. Sorry if it looks weird. The next 5-star read is Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finney Boland. This was so good. This was like an unexpected read. I literally never heard of this book before, and I was at Barnes & Noble and they were having buy one get one, so I got this one, and then How to Solve a Murder. That's actually not on my top 10 this year, which I thought it would be. I didn't expect to like this as much as I did. Let's explain what it's about. Olivia and her son Asher flee to her hometown because Olivia's husband, ex-husband, aka Asher's father, was very abusive to her, and they had to flee and leave him, and now she has full custody of Asher and they live in her hometown. Everything's going well. Asher has a girlfriend, but then one day Olivia gets a call. Asher's girlfriend is dead and Asher was seen with the body. So what do you think Olivia thinks? She's freaking out because she thinks that Asher has tendencies like his father and is scared that he's turning into his father. So basically it goes through a lot. It's a very heavy book. There's a huge plot twist in the middle of this book that I was just like, it changed the trajectory of the trial that was happening. So it basically goes through the entire trial and how they're trying to figure out who killed his girlfriend, which, I'm sorry, I should say her name, Lucy? Lily. Really good freaking book. I kind of expected the ending at the, like, towards the end, but it was a very heavy book. It talks about a lot of things that I think a lot of people should read this book, because it gave me a different, I mean, I had this insight with what goes on. It's hard because I kind of want to talk about like what happens, but it's like a big plot twist to the point of the book. It kind of changes the whole story around. Once you find this specific detail out, then it kind of like changes the whole trial and the whole case and like everything. So it's very interesting. 5 out of 5. 5 stars. Love this book. Sorry, I couldn't like really talk about too much there because there's really not much to talk about because it would give it away. Now I know there's a lot of controversy with her right now, so I read this in the summer, by the way. Or no, in the spring. Another 5-star read. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I love this book because I love British people. So I'm just gonna say it there. I will explain to you kind of what this is about. Magnolia and BJ are like the socialites. Like this whole group are like the socialites of London. Magnolia and BJ grew up together. They were in a relationship. They broke up, but they always, like if you know BJ, you know Magnolia and vice versa. And you know that they have something going on. It's just like a weird relationship that they have. It's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of other details and things that happen throughout the entire book. This had me hooked though because I just kept thinking of BJ Valentine as hairstyles. So come on, me reading this book, like let's go. I really enjoyed this, but I will say I want to go read Daisy Hates and I just can't get into it. So I think I might only like Magnolia and BJ's story, but 5 out of 5. It's definitely worth it, especially if you're into fanfics and Gossip Girl and London and English boys and all of that. This is the book to read. The next one is Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. I also rated this a 5 stars. One night Lucy is found exiting the woods in her best friend's blood. Savvy ends up dead. Lucy doesn't remember anything, has no recollection of the night. She only remembers the party she was at, and then that's it. Fast forward a few years later, Ben Owens, the podcast host of Listen for the Lie, wants to figure out what the hell happened because no one knows what happened. They can't put it on her because they don't have any proof except for the blood on her, but everyone thinks she did it, so she's like the talk of the town. So when she comes back to the town that this happened in, shit goes down and they have to figure out who killed her. It's really good. Honestly, at some points, like, she starts thinking she did. Like, she always, like, thinks maybe she did do it, but she has no recollection of it. This book is so good. It kept me, oh yeah, I read it in 2 days. It kept me so entertained. 10 out of 10 if you love any mystery, thriller type of book. This is the book. I thought it was going to be cringy because of a podcast, but, like, it wasn't. Really, really good. My second to last favorite book was also on my Kindle. 5 stars. Redeeming 6. Now, you are going to see a pattern here where I like the second book out of the Boys of Tommen series. So each storyline, I like the second book out of it. I think because the first book builds up the story, so then the second book is where like everything goes down. Redeeming 6, rated at 5 stars. So if you don't want any spoilers, skip to like the end of the video of the Boys of Tommen series. If you don't want any, skip to the end of the video. I'm not going to try to do spoilers. This is Joey and Aoife's story. This is the second book of their story. Joey is trying to help himself fight his addiction. Aoife really loves him and like wants to make this work because Joey keeps pushing her out of the way. She wants to make this work. A lot of hurdles are thrown at them in this book. And I think that's why I always like the second book better because there's always so much going on. Like the book keeps me entertained and these books are big. So the second books, like, always just keep me page turning. I love it. It's definitely not my favorite of the Boys of Tommen yet, but I still haven't read. Like, this is the last Boys of Tommen book I read, so I still haven't read the rest of the series, which I'm definitely going to do this coming year in 2026. This book is really good, though, I will say. But that brings me into my last book and my top book of 2025. Do I have to say any more? Do I have to say any more? Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. I think this is probably one of the best books I've ever read, is this book right here. This was so good. I'll give you a little background of what's going on. I can't say too much because I'm going to reveal it. If you've read Binding 13, you can stay. If you haven't, skip to the end. We all know what happens at the end of Binding 13. It was a lot, okay? It was still a 5 star to me, but it was a lot going on. This book, 10 times worse than the first book. Oh my god. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know. You know the scene I'm talking about. I just can't, like, I don't know what to say about it because the end of the book, Johnny Kavanagh gets hurt. He can't play rugby for a little bit because he's hurt. Shannon goes to Dublin without telling anyone, comes home, and shit hits the fan. Obviously, because we all know how this goes. I mean, it still sucks. Like, it's still terrible, but we all know how this goes. This book broke me into a million pieces. I never had a book make me cry that hard ever. There is a scene in this book, and if you read this book, you know what scene I'm talking about. Holy fuck. And the fact, actually now I know exactly why I like Redeeming 6, because the fact that that same scene happens in Redeeming 6 and we get Joey's point of view, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. This book broke me. So this book is definitely worth it. This series is definitely worth it. You have to read it. Put aside that it's a YA. Listen, I didn't even know it was young adult in the beginning until I found out like halfway through Binding 13. No, this one, it just doesn't matter. Holy moly. This book is so good. So good. Well, that is the end of the top 10 books of 2025. If you've read any of these, let me know if you agree or disagree. And that's that. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas so far. I'm so excited to keep it going. And that's that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Linked in the description is always all of my socials, and then also the link to the playlist of Vlogmas, so you can watch all of them if you haven't watched them already. I will see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day. Okay. See you guys tomorrow.